Bonjour. Here you see excerpts from 15 videos from the last 20 years in which the concepts of communication, time, relationship and perception are common to the work I exposed to VIDEOFORMES Festival 2021. My images are ideas of the reality, often with autobiographical background. Beside video, I use different methods like experimental photography, sound, text, performative acts, environment, subjects and objects, sentiment, and of course concept. The moving image is a visual form of time and space. I also collaborate with personalities from art, music, literature, and science, and in some projects with special key figures, the so-called protagonists. Here you see 21 persons pronounce the most important message they wanted to leave. It is without sound and shows what happens when the author separates from the message. It includes an ununderstandable sound work and several symposia. Here you see milk dropping down, and at a certain point the process inverts and time flows back. The artwork is a self-standing being with its own life. On certain occasions I put this independent artwork, like a video for example, in relation to a certain space and a certain moment. This is the first work I made when I came in touch with two immunologists, and they explained immunology with the research on the self and the not self in life. This is an ongoing project about time and connections, in which I asked people to write a letter to their parents and to be conscious that without a father and a mother we would not be on earth. This is a journey going on and maybe also going back. As I said before, autobiographical situations are an impulse. This video was made at a coiffeur, hairdresser in Austria, to which my mother was related during the Second World War. Here you see salt, waiting salt. I used a balance belonged to my grandmother, And also in this case, the process on a certain point inverts. The artwork is a self-standing being with his own life. On certain occasions I put this independent artwork in relation to a certain space and a certain moment. It forms then a new, unrepeatable artwork, which I call ambientation. Loving, for example, was projected on the giant dome at the Nuit Blanche in Paris, and with an environment and the act of the observers at VIDEOFORMES 2019. Also here you see milk flowing. This is a work I have conceived in 2019, inspired by a very early work by an Austrian video artist. The editing I did during the first lockdown due to the COVID pandemic in Italy. DSL is part of my interdisciplinary research project, Perception of Self and Non-Self in Life, inspired on the basic principle of immunology, the differentiation between the self and the not-self. 17 researchers of immunology and neurobiology participated, and they are, together with their objects of research, the protagonists. DSL enlightens the perception of the relationship and puts evidence on the unmistakable characters of each throughout thought and body. The scientists wrote a letter by hand, which you saw before, and the object of research, and they have addressed such a letter to themselves, personifying the object in a new artistic system. The live recording, which you saw before, of the handwriting shows the calligraphy which determines the individual. Here you see the transcription, which is readable, and it is like a document. The cells show photographs, videos, and generated data of proteins, neurons, cells, and the whole living systems, produced by the laboratories of the involved scientists. The image is the proof of what happens. Its aesthetic is independent of its value. Those images we all carry in our bodies. Those are the eyes of the scientists. They use high-edge technology and especially produced microscopes. But it is with the eye, nature's gift, that they capture, that they see. The eye is our most beautiful organ. My intuition was to invert to a habitual relationship between researcher and object, including the final observer. The connection between the ambientation at the abattoir stands in silence and devotion